The same time my mom noticed it, I noticed it. The change in her. Like my mom mentioned, the things that she was doing. I had to leave college, my classes, and come home and drop everything and see what was going on. Um, just a lot of stuff that she was just doing. It was unbelievable. It was just hard to explain. Um,
So she's
it
your,
was.
she's your younger sister?
I'm sorry.
She's the younger sister?
She's the third younger sister out of us, the oldest ones.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so I'm the oldest one, and then I have a second sister that's the second oldest, and she's the third oldest.
Interesting. That's wow. So
Yeah.
you say that you had to leave and then like come there. Can I ask you if you can recall the type of characters that you might have seen your sister hanging around or that was involved with your sister? Can you recall any of that?
I can recall the kind of
Wow.
friends she would hang around, but I noticed she was just changing.
Oh, like Harissa.
Oh yeah, Harissa.
Her name's not mentioned on there.
But she did have a friend that had a sister, and she was cutting herself. So I'm assuming she was influenced by that. It was just a lot going on that Tori would do, and the times that she did stuff, I was in my classes, and I would have to, literally just walk out of lectures
Thank you.
and come home. I even lost a scholarship
Let me see if I can.
because of the things that my sister was doing. So, and I'm still trying to finish with college. But I love my sister. I've always loved my sister. I love all of them. I love my mom. I would do anything for my sisters and my mom. But it was just a lot of stuff that she was doing. I didn't understand why. We all grew up.
Dang, I'm sorry, y'all.
My mom had the same structure and discipline for us to go to school, work hard, be respectable women,
That's beautiful.
and just be somebody in the world, important. So for my sister to do what she's doing now and what she had been doing in the past is just mind blowing. I'm even speechless. I don't even know. I don't even have a response. It's just mind blowing of what she's doing.
I get it. I get it. And like I said, and I think I thank you just for even just
King
chiming in.
World.
Like even if you wanted to chime in while that your mother was here or whatever, because like what I'm trying to give like my audience like a general idea of a possible leak that could have taken place within y'all community for people who in fact have been invaders like Shelly and where
Yeah.
she might have came from, what that influence was, and how these children, which I think anyway, are being addicted to drugs. And I think pain prescription medications and various other things that she would know about, being that she worked as a counselor and has somewhat paperwork that shows that she's in psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm this mom coming back in.
That's the mom.
I'm recalling that little girl. There was a little girl that I forgot about that. She was they came over to the house and my house, and it was Tori's. Was it her 14th birthday? Was her 14th?
Yes.
Was her
Hey,
14th
Samuels.
birthday? And I gave her a birthday
fine.
party, and all the kids. We had the
Please
birthday
subscribe
party,
and like.
and
Look, this is Allie
all the other
Carter,
kids had
aka
left. And
her
it was
real
this
name is
one
Tori.
girl
This is her
that was
real
just
mom on the
lingering at the
phone.
house.
She said she gonna take
And so it was
Shelly
getting
and them
late,
to
and
court
I told her, I said, sweetheart,
tomorrow.
it's time for you to go. And this is when I found out about the foster home that was behind me. And she said, oh, my parents don't care. She was like, I'm in a foster home. And again, there was another red flag just went up because I told Tori, I said, give out some invitations to, a few of your friends, and I'm gonna give you a birthday party. And the parents came by, and I met the parents the day before, and they brought the kids over, and everyone was great except for this one little girl. And when I told her it was time for her to go home, she said that her foster care parent did not care, and that she wanted to stay at my house. And this little girl, she was talking, she was using her hands, and I noticed all these cuts on her wrist. I found out that she was a cutter. Well, Tori started cutting herself. There was a time I had stepped out. It was a Saturday morning, and I went to the nail shop, and my daughter had called me, my oldest daughter that you just spoke with. She said, Mom, you need to get home quick. And I got home, and Tori was standing in the bathroom, and she had a razor, and she had cut her skin. And I right away, I called the paramedics and got her to the hospital. And this was, to fast forward, this was probably like 2 years in that we were in Mobile, 2 years in. And that was another change that I noticed. So I felt like my daughter she was hanging out with these kids, and the only place that she could hang out with them was at the school, because I didn't allow her to be over anyone's house. I didn't allow that with any of my daughters.
Mhm.
And I believe that when she was dealing with these kids at school, Shelly Carter, I do know for a fact, was hanging around the schools.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Because
Predator.
you have the middle school, what is the name? Valley View High School, and then you got Mountain View, and it's sitting on the same lot. You got the schools sitting right next door to each other. And I had kids. I'm sorry.
No, when you said that Mountain View done came up too. That's why I'm like, you saying a lot of stuff now, because I've never been to California before. But the names that you keep saying is like popping up. Like I'm just with stuff that I've looked up. Mountain View done came up too.
Yeah, Tori graduated from Mountain View Middle School, and she went over to Valley View High School, and she was there for her first year. And within that first year, this is when, like I said, everything, all the horrific, out of control behavior just took off. It just took off. And again, it was so bad where CPS was like knocking on my door, ringing my phone. Like every week I would get a call from these people telling me that my daughter is claiming this and claiming that. I mean, horrific stuff, and they would come in my house, and again, you can't prove a lie. They come in my house and wanting to strip my kids down. And, Tori has a sister that has epilepsy, and, and they would come in and checking out my kids, and it was just crazy. I had never experienced nothing like this before, and there were so many times I'm like, what the hell is going on with you? I even took her to her pediatrician. They were totally aware that the pediatricians were aware of her behavior, where they told me they referred her out to get some mental health. And but again, every day it was something. Dropping her off at school, she would just go in. I even had the school policemen that would call me and tell me, Miss Outlaw. Her teachers would call me and tell me, Tori's in the office. She's telling this lie. You're about to get a call from CPS, or you're about to get a visit from the police department.
Wow.
And again, it did not end until we got to the courts, and Tori was no longer in my home. That's when the CPS calls had stopped. And when that judge said, we can release her back to you, but you're going to be held responsible. And I'm like, I don't even know where my daughter is. You all don't know where my daughter is. you know, and to think about all that she had took me through, I told him, I said, you guys keep her. You keep her in your system because I have a home to pay for. I got a job to attend to as a woman and a mother, and I got bills to pay, and I don't have time for this shit. And
Five
this is
more
the
kids.
reason why I didn't even want to see these videos when, I had people contacting me telling me, about all these videos. I'm like, I got to keep myself together mentally. I don't have time to deal with my daughter that no longer wants to be parented. That, and again, now here she is. She'll be 31 years old this February.
Okay, now I just want to break right there for 1 second. Okay, so when you say she's gonna be 31 this February, I have a birthday in February as well. That's coming up on the 25th. The thing that I peeped with this whole situation with her was going to Oregon because she was on a video and they were stopped, by like the highway patrol there. So when I cited the date on that video, that's what really had me to say, well, let me just talk about this for a second because this is weird because that was 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago. And I'm like, wait a minute now, what kind of loop is this? Like, she's just doing the same thing over and over again with the same clothes on and everything. And I'm just like, what is going on?
Wow.
Like this is weird.
I'm trying to keep in mind that I don't know how, if this is live or what, but I'm, because I'm thinking about, I know I'm gonna take this legal, but I just want to say something, hopefully none of this is gonna, I'm thinking out loud here. You know what I'm scared of right now at this point? I am scared that this woman is gonna fuck off my daughter.
Oh.
That's what I'm terrified of. I am terrified once I hire this attorney, this woman, this Shelly Rochelle Hawks, and I don't even want to think about that, but I'm about to go after her because she's not going to get away with what she's done to my child. And there's no telling how many other kids that she has done this to. And I know she tried to lure other kids like she lured my daughter. But I see this shit. She's in the car with this white woman, and I've seen them wherever they're traveling to. Because I seen one video where they were in the snow, and Tori stepped out of the car. And in some of these videos that I've seen, I could tell that Tori is tired of Shelly. She's tired of her. She's not tired enough, but she's tired of doing what she's doing.
Playing that role.
She's tired of playing the role. And what I know that Tori knows is that I feel like my daughter is feeling like I done did my mom and my sisters, my family so wrong. I know my mom doesn't want to have anything to do with me. Right? I believe she feels that Shelly is all that she has right now. Right? And I want her to know that I'm going to help you get yourself together somehow, some way, because that woman, I believe once I can feel it in my heart and soul that once I come after her ass, this bitch may fuck my daughter off. Excuse my language. Because Shelly Carter is twisted and she's sick. Just like you said, this is a 60-something-year-old white woman.
64 years old.
64 years old. What the hell do you have in common with my daughter? A black young lady.
28 years.
Yes. What the hell could you... My daughter has been her puppet. My daughter has been her experiment. It looks like she's in some type of cult.
Yes, and that's what.
When I as I got these videos just flashing in my head, of it's so many. It's just I had to sit here at 4:00 this morning with an officer, and I had to show him, look, you could just punch my child's name. Look at all these videos. You tell me that this shit, it doesn't look right. This is a old white female with my child. She's had my daughter since 16 years old. I've listened to Tori claim that she's been in the system and been human trafficked since 3 months. Then it was 4 years old. All of these different ages, all of these twisted lies, you know. And I am really sick of it, and I am going to do something about this. You know, it has to stop. You know, all this is happening for a reason. And you know, when I seen you yesterday, what? And matter of fact, what is your name? I don't even know your name.
King World.
When I seen you speaking on this yesterday, I just got on my knees and thank God, because I feel like this is happening for a reason. Maybe this is a start to helping my daughter.
I think
My
so.
daughter, she needs to get away from that white woman. That's not even a woman. I can't even call her a woman.
Right.
You know, you're claiming to be
Wow.
her foster mother. Okay, let's just say she did adopt her. Let's just say she did adopt her, right? What foster mother rides around in a car with her foster daughter, especially at the age that she's at? How is this helping her? Having her talk about all this crazy shit that doesn't even make sense.
Making her
Crazy.
think that somebody's after her so she can forever be the protector, nurturer, and
Yeah,
have her thinking that, you know, as opposed to her being 30 years old, that she then goes back to being 14 again.
yeah,
And at the
yeah,
time when she was coming over to the neighbor's house and when she slipped over there outside of your watchful eye and they was doing who knows what, probably smoking weed, taking pills, they probably was doing a whole bunch of stuff, even
yeah,
was talking about what they were going to do in the damn future.
yeah. And you know,
Dang.
there was another time when Tori came home one day, and I could see that day so clearly where something was off about her, but you couldn't have never told me that it was this predator, Shelly, in her ear. I just felt like something wasn't. I mean, looking back on it now, my daughter was on some type of drug when she came home from school that day. She was so spaced out. Um, she was so defiant, just, I mean, just on one for no reason. No reason whatsoever. Didn't want to talk about her day. She was disrespectful. Ran out of the house when I told her to do her chores and her homework. You know, I mean, just taking me,
Dang.
just going through changes. I'm like,
Wow.
what the hell is going on with my daughter? But I know that Shelly Carter, she's had a hold on my child
Dang.
for a very long time, and it is time. It is time. And again, I thank you when I seen you yesterday, and I'm like, finally somebody that sees straight through this shit. Because all that she's saying is just twisted. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. A lot of that shit on there. What is all that stuff that she? What is that M something she was? I don't even know
Yeah.
what a lot of that shit is.
Yeah, my father was in the Marines, and what she talking about with MK Ultra, I had been heard about that. I did like a segment on the sex cult leader Jim Jones, and then I went into mind control operations, talking about a guy whose name is James Thornwell. He won a class action lawsuit against the government because, unbeknownst to him at the time when he was in the military,
Dang.
as he worked as a clerk, they experimented with him with LSD for
Oh
years.
my goodness.
Yeah, and yeah, he died and stuff or whatever, but he won a lawsuit or whatever. But during the interview, he broke down crying because he had recollections of things that he actually thought he just was seeing in his head, but were all things that were induced by the government.
Oh
He
wow.
was the first person. And after that happened with George Thornwell, they went on through the counterculture to create what's called the conscious community.
Mhm.
1977. I was born in 1978.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang, boy.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, because a lot of this stuff Tori is talking about, again, she wasn't even born. Tori wasn't
Exactly.
even in this world.
I was tripping even when I hear her say certain stuff, and I'm like, how can you talk about MK Ultra without talking about the psychological operation? Because that's where
Yeah.
it's from. It's an entire manual on it. It's an
Hmm.
entire manual. But the way she speaks about it so sporadically, only touching on certain areas for people that don't know about it, they'll actually think that she know what the hell she talking about.
Yeah. 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 And again, I've seen videos
Dang.
where you could tell it looked like she got upset with my daughter because she was like saying too much, because you could tell that she tapped her with something, because I could tell how Tori jumped and she looked over and she stopped talking. And I'm like, this woman is coaching my daughter to say all
Mhm.
this crazy shit.
Everything that she can't say or is not allowed to say, or at the time when she was in that position working that she couldn't say, that's what she's using your daughter for. It's
Yeah,
like she's the puppet master.
yeah. She's using her as a puppet,
A bunch
you
of
know.
weird stories, all of the, and then you got to think too, like for the position that she had, her job, when her being a counselor, she's a person that's mentally unstable, that shouldn't have had
Yes,
that position, that preyed on children.
yes.
Right.
And again, there's a meeting. There was a meeting held, and this meeting happened when uh, they took my babies from me. And no, I'm sorry. This meeting happened possibly an hour or two before they took my girls from me. And Shelly Carter was in this meeting, and I'll never forget it. I asked them, I said, "Who the hell is she?" And they let me know then that she was a counselor. And this woman was sitting at the table talking, speaking on my daughter as if she knew her better than I did. And I remember they informed her then she had to leave the meeting because it was getting ready to become violent in there, because I told her, you are totally overstepping the boundaries here. You're talking to me as if you know my daughter better than me, and I'm trying to understand, where the hell did you come from? This is
Wow.
some white woman standing sitting in my face trying to tell me about my child and trying to convince me that my daughter was mentally ill. And I'm like, you caused this behavior in my daughter. You caused it. And I know why she caused it now. She was luring my child into her hands, and
Yeah.
the hands of her. She was trying
Yeah.
to get my daughter to where she got her right now.
Wow.
And as a parent, as Tori's mother, I feel really, really bad. I
Dang.
feel like I kind of failed her through some of these years, but at the same time, I'm like, how do you parent a child that no longer wants to be parent? How do you continue to keep dealing with a child that continues to keep fighting? My daughter no longer wanted to be protected by me. When you got police and child protective services, and my child was fighting me, and I'm like, here I am standing a single parent, trying to handle my business and live my life, and I got a daughter in here that's just like off the chain. So I felt relieved when Tori was out of my home, because this shit wasn't going on no more. But at the same time, the worry never left. It's never left. And to see her now, it's like I have to do something. I have to do something for her. And I have to get her away from this Shelly Carter. And I will be doing everything that I could possibly do, legally, legally, with Shelly, because she's not getting away with this shit. Because again, there's no telling how many kids have she done this to.
That's what really I'm afraid of right
Dang.
there. And like when you first
Whew.
even stated that, I started thinking then, like, with the people that was the neighbors who they could have been friends with, and how many adjacent or even replica or similar type of facilities, which were houses that posed as foster care facilities, that was even actually around y'all. That might have even been a damn thing around there.
Yeah,
Unbeknownst to y'all, like, for real. That's why I
yeah,
asked the daughter, like, do you remember, like, or can you recall who these people were? Because this sound like the makings of a damn homegrown ass cult to me. That's what it sound like.
yeah.
I'm so
Because
serious.
Mm.
I didn't know. It's a brand new neighborhood. Literally, homes that were just built from the dirt.
Mm.
Okay, this is. I am so serious. This is how Tori has been living all her life. Brand new spanking homes that were just built from the dirt. Brand new neighborhood. Um, New schools. Everything brand spanking new where we moved to. Beautiful home, beautiful schools. The system, Moreno Valley school system is awesome. Their district is awesome. My girls graduated from this system, but at the same time, for and there was another child that
Dang,
came up
boy.
dead where I thought it was my daughter. You can Google
Wow.
that. Where I thought it was my daughter
Man.
that was laying in this field,
Oh,
right across the street from the high school.
See,
You know,
see,
yeah, 15-year-old girl came up dead,
see.
and I had to sit and wait for them to announce this child. Her
wow.
last name was Lopez, and her parents, 15 years old, and a guy in the neighborhood snatched her up, dogged her out, and killed her. There were other girls that came up missing in the very same area. I'm talking about in walking distance of where we lived.
Oh my God.
So it makes me wonder, this Shelly Carter was in that area, and
I know what you
it's
thinking.
not funny, but this is really strange that she's still located in this. There's an address still showing that she's still located in the same area.
Who's? Oh,
That
that's the
address
girl
that
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 passed.
place you were speaking of earlier,
Oh
it's
my
like 10
God.
minutes away from where we lived at the time.
Interesting, and that's why I was saying, like, I'm definitely gonna get with y'all, because there may even be some irony to all of this. It's a twist that I found. And like I say,
My
I'm indigenous,
God.
so you know what I'm saying. Whether you say it, that black guy, whatever, but I come from a long line of trackers, so that's what I do. I like to track stuff down,
Hmm.
and when I
Hmm.
tracked her ass down, that's how I knew they ain't went nowhere in that damn car. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I kind of peeped that part right there too. Just from the time that she panned the camera a few times, I was like, well, you're not really far from where you playing like that you done went to. But that's cool too, because I actually showed on one of my live streams how far that they actually got in that car and where they could possibly have been going to, because they
Hmm.
occupied space in a trailer too that may not be far from where you all were staying at the time. And I even had questions about that too. And what I'll do is I'll make sure I just do. Let me see if I do got like a compilation, because I ain't for sure within my notes, but I usually
Hmm.
keep stuff like that handy. But yeah, I would just put it
Wow.
all together. But I'm a look through here
Tori, y'all done been
just to see
busted.
right
Your
quick,
mama
because there
done
was a
came
time where I
online,
was putting
girl.
all of this stuff together, because I wanted to know, like, what in the hell.
King
I
World
mean,
is the
like,
bomb.
what's the coincidence of her even dealing with this person that was supposed to be a counselor?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to know. I just wanted to know, because I'm like, why would her last name be your last name if she's supposed to
Exactly.
be your mother, and I know you're not her mother. I seen how
Yeah.
y'all was in that bathroom together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that disgusts me. And Tori, Or she looks like she's in that bathroom. I could tell that she was on some type of drugs, like she's been shot up or given something.
Yeah.
It totally looks like Tori is drugged. It doesn't look like she's like herself. It looked like she's drugged. She's on something, and I'm trying to understand why. Why was that posted though? Why? What was your point? Why did you
No.
even post
No,
something?
they
I think
filmed
I
it.
think then what they were doing with the movement, so to say, the alleged movement that they have, I think she was showing of on how that she was able to sustain whatever definitive terms that they attributed to why she was acting the way that she was acting that had something to do with abuse. I think that's what that was about.
Okay,
That's why it was
yeah.
recorded. So then when they would go out and give these lectures, then she could give her
Mm,
personal account how she then had to stabilize her to make sure she was okay. Because she said stuff like that her handlers had a remote control on her and things like that. Things that I
oh
know
my god.
she's heard Shelly talking about why
Yeah,
that she's been under the influence. That's what I think.
yeah, yeah.
Dang.
That makes sense to me.
I'm glad she
Yeah.
came on tonight.
I'm just
Dang.
wow.
I
To
understand, and
see
like I
my
said, you take your time. Like I said, and like I say, I'm here for you. Like for real, this whole chat, everybody that's listening, because this is it's all too staggering to hear
Yeah.
after actually hearing the truth of the matter.
Right.
You feel me?
yeah.
Like the only thing I did was just look at it for what it was worth as I investigate, and that's what I seen. That's why I was like immediately, this is what's going on. It ain't nothing other than that. And then with me even talking about you, I did so because I said, well, you know what? If she's sitting up here talking about that, this is her mama. No, ain't no way in the
Mm-mm.
hell you gonna make it seem like you had to go through all that stuff the way you done came up, the way you been brought up. If you don't stop,
Yeah, no,
that's
she Tori
no.
wasn't raised in that type of environment.
Mm-mm.
Tori has never
Dang.
she has never been abused. None of that shit that she said. None of this has never happened to her. Not in my household. That's not. Tori doesn't have a mother like that. She doesn't have. Like I said, I have six daughters, and all of them are adults now and college graduates, some of them, and they work, and and but Tori, out of all my six, that predator got a hold of my child,
Yeah.
and had I known that I was living around a predator like Shelly, I wouldn't have never moved to Moreno Valley. But I'm thinking here we good, brand new home, beautiful schools and beautiful
King
area,
World.
and
All
this is good for
right.
me and my girls. And I'm telling you, as soon as I moved to Moreno Valley in 2005, '06, because we moved right at Christmas time, um, to this beautiful home. I want to say possibly, well, it was right when she started school. It was maybe a few months after she started school. I started getting these child protective services calls of my daughter. And it's so much that happened. I even revisit the police department in Moreno Valley, showing them a lot of this footage of this lady Shelly Carter, because there was times that I reported her to the police department in Moreno Valley. But somebody got to come up dead or hurt before the police could even do something. Oh, we could take a police report, and if you have any issues, just call us. It shouldn't take for my child to be laying somewhere dead. In order for you guys to do something, but it is what it is. If that's their protocol, that's their protocol. But this is when I started having issues with my daughter, is when she started school in Moreno Valley. And right away, Shelly Carter, I believe, got a hold of my child. And she got a hold of my daughter through my daughter socializing with these kids in these foster homes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think some kind of way, I can't say this as a fact, but I think some kind of way, if it wasn't that one husband that she was married to, it was somebody that even teamed up with her to be able to be a part of this life-saving experience of adopting children and stuff with this whole foster care thing, because that website has the telltale signs of it. This is a movement, and it's not just her. She's not the only person. That's why they would like to masquerade it as being an army. But see, she gave it away when she sit up there and said that it was Allie's army, and on the Facebook
Yeah.
page is Hawk's army, and I'm like, yeah, that's because of Rochelle Hawk. See,
Mhm.
and
Mm-hmm.
before you even said that, I knew that them people had to have noticed something going on with her, because she's a weird acting woman. She's
Yeah.
real weird acting.
Yeah. And they told me. I mean, they contacted me. Um, the safe house, and it's in the city of Riverside. And again, the location, that address that you mentioned earlier, that's in the city of Moreno Valley.
She's a
But I
producer.
do know for a fact that they terminated her, um, and they put my daughter out. I'll never forget that day. Shelly Carter had my daughter. She took my daughter from the school, and she took her to this safe house. Now, at this place, at this place they call safe house, it's a lot of troubled, runaway, drug addict kids that was in this place. And I remember going there when they took my daughter from the school without my permission, had her down at this place, and I went down there to get her. And, the police even had to show up. I had to call the police because I'm like, you guys are not going to take my child from the school. You didn't tell me she was brought here. Now you're telling me you're not going to release her to me? I don't think so. And I remember seeing Shelly Carter, and I had words with her then. Her and I have never had a decent conversation, because this woman, again, she's stepping to me as if she knew my daughter better than I did. But they terminated her, and they actually told Tori, they said, you need to get yourself in that car with your mom and go home. You're not staying here. Because Shelly Carter made my daughter think that that's where she could stay. So kids that don't want to go home, teenage kids that don't want to go home, they could tell these horrific lies and just come stay here with a whole lot of troubled kids. And in this building with these troubled kids was Shelly Carter. So how many of these kids do she have? How many kids have she done this to?
I know. Mm-hmm.
That's my question. And then too, what I was thinking about, and I'm always following the money, and I just been sitting back thinking, like, I wonder the amount of children she had signed up to a program where she was in fact the recipient of that money. I was
Cause she
thinking
had
about
a
that too, because I'm
cash
like, okay, when you said the foster care, and the way that the foster care facilities are in fact set up, it can be a group home, just with them setting it up or whatever. I'm like, hold on, man, this woman know more than a few people that may be into the same thing, for that matter. This may even be
Exactly.
a thing. It may even be a thing. And as weird as what the way that she act, I wouldn't even doubt on whether or not, if she done wrote somewhat of a synopsis for a damn curriculum of on how to do this stuff, the
Wait,
Yeah.
same
I
way how she did
know.
your daughter.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And
So,
I seen some of the court documents, like when they took my girls from me, she had
right,
those posted
type something.
on social media, and I noticed that she blackened out some things like our names, but I'm not understanding this. What took me back to the courts? I'm like, how the hell is she able to even have this paperwork? She literally posted paperwork when they took my children. I'm like, how the hell did she get a hold of that? Because she was working for this system, with this system, somehow, some way. And I hear what you're saying. How many people are involved with her still?
See, she was able to get her hands on that school transcript. That's how all of this happened. That's what I'm telling you about. that place. You see, yeah, that's what that's about. And then by her being somewhat of a mentor, showing, receipts, evidence from them fictitious fraud programs
See.
associated with such, and that's how she was able to do so. Uh, them little fraud organizations and stuff sitting around creating little LLCs. All of them always have donate at the top of them and shit. Just like, just like the one that you was talking about. I click on it right here at the top. That's the first damn thing you see. Safe house, donate, commit, straight
Mhm.
like that. That's
Okay.
that's that's the first thing that you see. That's the way that they
Okay.
move.
Okay. I
Oh
see it.
yeah.
Come
Mhm.
on, come on,
Oh.
keyword so you can see what I wrote
She's
you.
that type of person. She's that type of person. And aside from just her with, simply being money hungry, she was money hungry. And I hate to say it, no disrespect, but she was money hungry for your daughter. That's what that was. She
Yeah.
had already been sizing it up. You can tell by her vernacular, the way she states certain things, denoting that she has a disdain when it come down to melanated people. So to
Mhm.
see her as close as what she is with your daughter, one would even ask on what it is with the twisted fantasy of pretending and acting like she
Dang.
even likes her for that matter.
Yeah. And that's why I mentioned earlier, my fear, and I just hope and pray that, my daughter, she's not okay, but she just remains okay till I could get my hands on her. Um,
So what is
I
that?
when I spoke with my local police department last night and having some addresses on her, I don't want to catch a case. I'm too old for that.
I don't
I
want you
got
to.
too much to lose.
I don't want you to. And I know you upset about it too. That's why you don't even, and don't even your oldest daughter, don't even let her get nowhere around it because I already know it's going to go down.
Yeah,
Don't do it like that because both of you, your family's better than that.
yeah,
Okay? Yeah, don't
yeah,
just get that out your head all together. The agenda is the main thing, and like I say, with bringing her to justice,
Shit,
that will be a
man.
solution within a solution for your daughter. That just simply open up the door. Those type of people have to be removed in order at times so that you can be able to help a person.
yeah. Because and then another thing that I had noticed, and again, I got to say thank you again because there was times I was trying to reach out to Tori with even leaving certain messages, letting her know,
Right,
you know, and I noticed what is social media is just wow. I noticed my messages were deleted,
right,
and I'm like, so my messages are deleted, but this craziness is able to be posted. But I need a way to reach out
Hmm.
and try to help my child somehow, some way, because Tori is not standing as a 30-year-old woman right now. That's not mentally, that's not her.
let me tell you what I think. The only way that they're surviving at this point right now, after leaving that home, and as long as what it's done been, they are with grandma, and grandma's selling them pills. That's the only
Uh-huh.
thing cut and dry up and down the middle. And I'm sure that Shelly gets a prescription as well.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
oh,
Like I
wow.
said, I'm from North Carolina, so I know all about, what I'm saying, the pain care doctors and all that shit
Mhm,
there. Okay,
mhm,
straight up. So yeah, I-40, all that stuff started down there. That when they first started with the game and started putting a number on the prescriptions. Then I remember one time you used to be able to get 120 pills, and they busted
mhm.
down because that's the amount of money that they was making, and people was getting strung out. Yeah, going crazy. And I don't mean people that's actually living in pain, but people that just simply that wanted to get high.
Oh,
It's like that. I-40, yeah, I-40, all the way to Asheville, straight like that. I'm telling you, it. I remember when it first started,
See.
Black Mountain. Just with the insurgence of meth and seeing a lot of people that I knew went to school with addicted on drugs, just
Oh,
seeing
Mhm.
people lose their life, getting caught up in these different systems, even had me on the manhunt of reporting on a coat. So much I had to do the same thing, talk cash shit and roast them just to get the attention from the family so they could even make an attempt to step in and desensitize the problem that they
Mhm.
was dealing with. Yeah, dealing with a cult leader. And that's why I say Shelly's in the same position of a damn cult leader, the way she's
Yeah.
handling the
she is.
situation. She's
She
not trying to
is.
help anything.
No.
She's a
No.
cult leader.
No, and, I'm looking at her like she's sitting on the side. She got my daughter doing all this crazy venting and babbling and just voicing all this crazy shit. And every now and then you may hear her speak, but I'm like, she's sitting on the side. And I've even called her out on this social media, no response. But I've come too far within my life and, with my girls and my grandkids, and I have a life here. I'm not gonna hand it over to this chick, but I know one thing: I'm coming after her. I'm getting started on her tomorrow morning. I have already called off work. I gotta get started because there's no way she's gonna continue this another year. It's New Year, same thing.
Same thing. Same thing. And that's what I think that people really have to understand with hearing you say that, like with you starting in the morning and getting on this, like it's done been years now. So what is this,
Yeah.
like the fourth year of this weird stuff just with the internet?
But see, I just found out like again, I had people telling me a few years ago, about these videos. I had family members and friends calling me, letting me know to check it out. Until my daughter a year ago, my daughter looked it up and she's like, "Mom, you got to take a look at this." But she's been doing this like since she's had my daughter. I'm assuming she's been posting this crap. I seen videos back in 2020, I think it was. Uh,
Yeah, that's when I
Well, yeah,
saw it.
4 years. She's been posting this crap, and it's a lot. I don't know if you've seen them all, but it is a lot of videos of my daughter.
Oh yeah, I've seen several. Like I said, it's been going on for a minute, so much to the point that they even started doing like a series. And it's like when I seen the series, I just was like, wow, like this is kind of weird. And you could tell fully that Shelly at your daughter's expense, that she was using the shit up out of her, like getting her in
Yeah.
front of these people, and just by me listening to the background of the laughter and some of
Yeah.
like the low audible, chit chat that was going on. Man,
Yeah.
he was all Caucasian people down with Shelley. Probably
Mhm.
people that's teachers, work at daycares, libraries within small towns. All these people that got together that's sitting back entertained by the weird stuff that she's talking about.
Mhm.
Somebody, I'm guessing, like Shelly, knew what to keep giving to her. And that's how she got out there in them streets with her talking about her having a pimp and all of this stuff. Then the dude gonna have her all the way up on his show. She talking about she done had sex with Joe Biden. With Joe Biden.
Oh my sweet
I know you
Jesus!
was like, oh man. I know
Oh
you was
my
like,
God, my God! I seen that Michelle Obama, yeah, Joe Biden, and Oprah Winfrey, and oh my sweet Jesus! And then there were some rappers that she had her accusing of some stuff, and I'm just like, see, this is all, again, my fears. I'm just hoping no one gets so upset and come after my child. And I messaged her that, and I noticed right away the message just it disappeared. I told Tori, I said, you know what, you speaking on things that you know nothing about. You cannot just be going after people like this, because this is how my daughter started on her father, then she came after me. Now you're here claiming that all these celebrities did things to you.
right. Right. And see, for people that
Mm-hmm.
don't know this, And like I said, I didn't. Like I said before, I even heard this. I already seen what she was doing, acting out the side of her neck. Anyway, with her
Mm-hmm.
saying all that stuff, that's why I stated in the beginning. I was like, now if something really did happen to you, you know what I'm saying? Like I hate that. That's not a joke. I'm not playing about that or whatever.
Right.
But you should have said something about that. See, she
Yeah.
didn't say anything about it because the
Mm-hmm.
person that was doing that was Shelly. That's what the hell
Yes.
that she's talking about. It's no one else. It's no one else. That's what she been with. That's the
Yeah.
person that ushered her off. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I
Mm-hmm.
really would just sit back. I really would just sit back with an old glass of wine and just think about who were these teachers when you went up there that were even familiar with this damn woman. Who were these people? You got to just think back to all of, you got to think back 14 to 15 years ago. You got to think back like, okay, when I was getting them calls, like who were these people? Because I'm telling you, it's going to tell you a lot about what the hell going on right now.
Oh my, you're right about that.
You're gonna
You're
think you're
right
gonna be
about
like,
that.
well, hold on, yeah, because see, that's what I'm telling you about her being able to get that transcript. That's how she was able to make it appear that way when people was in my
Mhm.
comments trying to argue me down, like, no, she already showed this. Now you think I'm crazy, don't you? No, this listen, that lady, that's the only way she was able to obtain that information. That's it.
Inside,
For
inside of the inside
That's
job.
right.
Yeah.
On that caseload. That's how she
Yeah.
got access. And that's what I'm saying about the string or team or possibly related people to her that worked in certain areas that made it possible so she could have her very own child of her own, which is your daughter.
And now that you say that, it just, a light goes off. I'm recalling that meeting that had taken place, and I noticed that right after the meeting, they took my children from me. Right,
Exactly.
I mean, right after that meeting, they
Yeah.
wanted
She
me
set it
to
up.
argue and fight with
She
Shelly
set it up. Because see,
in that meeting.
I'm gonna tell you what I think, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want you to listen to me for a second, because for
Okay.
years you probably thought about this, but this is the way that I see it. I think that when she was coming over to that house and was over there talking to them, she told your daughter a way to get away from you and
Yes.
that nobody would know about it, and it would be by her saying that stuff. And then once that y'all were all together, the meeting or whatever, and it was supposed to be like you was supposed to be irate,
Yeah.
upset, cussing, because see, Shelly had already told her how to describe you as what
Yeah.
would be an unfit parent, although that you
Yeah.
wasn't. And see, the
Yeah.
same processive order that was used with your child could have possibly taken place with several other children
Other children.
in that
Yes.
right in that area. Older women, let me tell you, older women like the woman that they call grandma.
Hmm.
Man, I know about 4 or 5 women from where I'm from that had group homes and stuff. I'm dead serious, man. That wasn't doing nothing but getting a check. Had the loosest houses that I can think of were at least 30 to 35 people through my junior high and high school that I knew of. That was the revolving door that went on in life and never looked back because they all was there. And they was just getting that check. And the majority of times, those women had those children
Gotta plug my
because their
phone
mamas
up.
was strung out on dope.
Why you
Oh,
doing that?
See what I'm saying?
yeah.
We would go there, play the Nintendo, all that stuff, right down the street from my crib. Yeah, at a young age, I'm talking about 12 and 13 years old. This type of behavior that was going on when I had to go home, that they was still up, and it was 8 to 9 different children that were not with their parents that was there at this person's house that was getting a check, all in the name of a foster home.
Oh, my sweet
This is
Jesus.
before they start having people sitting in with shifts and all this stuff or whatever. Yeah, this same stuff happened when I was talking about Kanika Jenkins and all of the people connected to her and why nobody wasn't damn related and where them folk
Hmm.
came from. I traveled all the way to damn Oklahoma, all the way there with this shit, with these people, with these damn foster homes, Arkansas, these different little rural areas and stuff. All these people that were together, going to these different churches, ministry, ministry groups and stuff, who thought the same way. Oh, we're
Dang.
gonna help the children. We gotta do something to help you. What happened to you?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened with you. Did they do
Mhm.
this to you? At the same time, rubbing on them and doing everything else to them, buttering them up. Yeah, that's how these children get disappeared.
And that says a lot too. When I think about, there was a, and I don't know if you've seen this, but there, and Tori, she had to been telling my daughter to steal things out of my home, because I noticed that things were coming up missing around that time. And I seen a video where Tori has my picture posted. It's a picture of me. I just gave birth to my fourth daughter. I'm in the hospital and I just gave birth to my fourth daughter. And Tori has her hand over my face, and she's just showing her. Tori's standing on the side of me, and I was actually showing her baby sister. But with that picture being posted, she's telling this horrific lie about that picture. But that picture is me in the hospital, and I had just gave birth to one of my fourth daughter. But I
Dang.
noticed that
Sorry, y'all.
things like
I
that
got a
were
drink.
coming up missing.
Something.
And then to see that on that video, and to hear my daughter claim that this was a video where she claimed that she had went back to the hospital that she was born at, and that she went and spoke with a nurse that signed off on her birth certificate. It was just all crazy. I don't know if you've seen this video that I'm speaking of.
No, I'm not for sure about that one.
Yeah, it's a video that Shelly and Tori has posted on social media.
Were they in the car?
No, they're not in a car. She's sitting in a chair.
I know the video.
She's in a house and she's sitting in a chair.
Yep, I know the video now.
And she has this picture, my picture of me. Wow.
That is crazy.
This is really, this is scary. This is really, it's been scary for a long time to see someone get a hold of your child. You couldn't have never told me that someone like Shelly Carter would have gotten a hold to one of my daughters, and my child is out here with this predator the way she is. And it's been going on for so many years, from the age of 16 to now. Again, she'll be 31 years old this February.
That is a damn shame, man. And then
Yeah.
she gonna masquerade this whole damn time out here having these people coming over here to my channel, arguing me up and down with all this stuff that she's saying.
Really?
Yes, several, excuse me, several different disparaging comments. It has been a lot. And I've been just sitting back tripping off the stuff, because I'm just like, damn, well, obviously y'all are not paying attention. This person done rocked y'all to sleep. Y'all actually believe that this is a thing. Well, it's not.
Mm.
She's been exaggerating stories the whole damn time. Now, if I was to just show you through these damn comments, just of 429
Oh,
of
wow.
these comments. Yeah, like I might need to just go to like the newest ones or some shit or whatever. You see, like 2 hours. Yeah, but you don't understand all the issues involved what they've been through, the way you stated about her. See what I'm saying? All this stuff. Yeah, I'm saying that stuff about her gum so she can damn take notice that she need to be away from that woman, focus
Yeah.
on her damn hygiene, get
Yeah.
herself together, get her damn hair done, get out
Yeah.
them damn clothes that woman is getting for
Mm-hmm.
her, and stop that stuff. She don't need to be
Yes.
dressing like that or looking like that. Talking
No.
about that's sad. Y'all
No.
all degrading her and all. Just the weird shit that people be saying. Look at this stuff.
No,
Just the weird shit.
I've seen it. I've seen it, and not only my daughter does. She looks horrible. She looks extremely unhealthy. She looks frail. She's very skinny and just unhealthy, and she looks like she's on drugs. You could tell her hygiene is not good at all. The mop,
Yeah,
she looked like she has a mop on her head with a scarf sitting on the top. My daughter looks
Yeah.
like shit. She does. She looks horrible because she's in the hands of a predator.
Wow.
Shelly the Carter doesn't give a damn about my daughter. She doesn't care about her. She could care less about her hygiene and her health care and her appearance. She doesn't care anything about that, claiming to be her foster mother. Well, if you're her foster mother, you would think you would be guiding her better, but you got her posted on social media.
right.
Exactly.
She
Right.
looks filthy. She looks like a homeless person. She looks
Culture
like a
hunger.
person that's on drugs
Darn.
Yeah.
because she's in the hands of a predator.
And that's what I was saying, like the whole time, like she's been coaching her own. Like all of this stuff is premeditated. Every time
Mm-hmm.
she get up there, and once she start going to the left, or she forget certain stuff within convos her and Shelly, her lover, done had. That's when she didn't want to interject, as if that she was at the Diddy party, as if she was around
Yeah,
the
tell
pimp.
me
She
what to
knows stuff
say and stuff.
word for word, like she's some trained professional of MK Ultra, and she has no military background or
Yeah.
affiliation whatsoever. None of that. She is a whole creep. That's what she is. She's a creep. She's a creep.
I agree. I agree. Well, I know one thing. She better get ready for me because I'm
All
done
right.
with it. I'm done. I'm not gonna just let this go any longer. So she's about to. It's not even a fight. It's not even a fight. All of this shit that she has, all these affidavits, all this fake, phony ass paperwork, claim it, you adopted my daughter, all of that shit, all of that. I cannot wait to get her in a courtroom. And I want you to explain all that you claim, all this time that you had my daughter. Again, Tori is 31 as of February. I'm trying to understand. I've never. This is not normal behavior of a 30-year-old woman.
Nope.
You've been on social media saying the same thing for years,
Yep. Round and round in circles.
coaching my daughter to say the same shit for years.
Yeah.
I don't believe they're on the run. I don't believe that.
No, they're not.
I don't believe anything that's been said, and none of the abuse has happened. None of it. How did my daughter, if she's been abused like the way she speaks, how does she survive all that?
That's the part that got me. That's what I was tripping off of, and I'm like, her mom's got to be getting high along with her to even coach her along to say this stuff. I mean, just think, she was supposed to have been a counselor at one given time. Now she's entertaining these wild stories. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know something is off. And the way she look at her, as close as she sit beside her, then
Yeah.
when she, yeah, I'm like, what kind of butch stud
Yeah.
relationship, love, weird, even with her even getting out here and saying that she's her daughter in her
Yeah.
mind, if she see her like
Yeah.
that, with them being romantically involved, is
Yeah.
sick.
I had supervisors with Child Protective Services tell me that. They banned Shelly Carter. They banned her. Rochelle Hawks or whatever her name is. They banned her. Child Protective Services banned her. The courts banned her from my daughter. And when they did that, she got a hold of my child. And she's had her since.
Dang, boy.
But she's about to hear from me. She's about to hear from me.
And I think you should take, like I say, every step to do that. And like I say, I'm not gonna hold you like any longer. I appreciate you coming up and saying what you said, and like I say, getting it off of your chest. And like I say, even with making progress, stepping and then moving forward, man, please contact me like after this so I can have a way to get in contact with you so I can give you everything that I have. And if it's any kind of way that I can assist you and your family, man, you ain't even gotta say nothing. I got you. And it's all off of the strength because I see what Shelly been doing. She know what she been doing with that check. She been doing the same thing with grandma check too and that medication. She been doing that for years. She need to stop that. You too old for that, Shelly. You need to stop that.
I would appreciate it if we could exchange info. We can keep in touch, and I could keep you posted. And I'm willing to take all the information and assistance that I could get from you. Yeah, if I could do that, it would be great. Just to keep in touch, and again, thank you so much for allowing me to speak on your platform because my daughter has never. She has never been abused, not by me. Not by me. I'm pretty sure some things have happened to her since she's been out of my household because you were out in the real world on them streets with the predators. So how do you possibly think you could be safe out there? But I've never hurt my child. Never. None of my girls. None of them. None of them. The only thing that was going on here is you go to school. When you're old enough to go to work, you go to work. You stay healthy, you stay safe, you take care of yourself. That was my foundation here with my girls, and it continued on. I have grandbabies that I'm telling the same thing to. I've never seen something like this before. I've never experienced this before. This is new to me. You couldn't have never told me that a predator was going to get a hold of one of my kids.
Dang, boy.
So can I ask, because I didn't get to earlier, so the whole time, when she's, since she's been gone, because it's, like I say, it's been somewhat of a minute, did you ever link the Shelly person, or was it only to when you seen the surfacing of those videos and then you thought back to that was the person that was there?
No, I always knew that she was with Shelly. I always felt in my heart and my soul that she was with Shelly. Even when the courts told me they banned her, it's all on paperwork. When the courts told me, CPS, the courts told me they banned her. And then I had another daughter that was telling me, my second oldest, that was telling me that Tori was with this woman. So I always knew that Tori, that this lady had Tori. I always knew that. But like I said, I'm just being honest here. Tori took me through so much. When they took my children away from me, that hurt me bad. That hurt me really, really bad. And to know that my daughter caused all that, I was so tired. I was just so fed up. When the courts closed it, I put Tori in missing persons. I reported her and reported her missing. And I handed over to God at that point. I just kept Tori in my prayers. And then before I know it, I had family members and people that know me and been around me and seen how I raised my kids, telling me, have you seen what your child has posted on social media? And for years, I didn't want to look at it. I'm like, I don't want to be bothered with that crap. But I always knew that Shelly had my daughter. I knew that she had her. I just didn't know that this woman was
Oh, I'm
had my
sorry.
daughter
I'm sorry,
the way
y'all.
she had her. Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's
I
getting
didn't
to
think
me.
that. Not that I trusted this woman with my daughter. Not that I wanted my daughter with her. But again, my child had took me through so much. Where I'm like, I have other kids, I have a life, I have a job. I don't have time to keep dealing with child protective services and policemen and
Wow.
courts, and I don't want this shit in my life. So, I'm like, she don't want to be parented no more. All I could do is let go and let God, and that's what I had did for the longest time until my oldest daughter said, Mom, you got to take a look at these videos.
Please hit the like button.
And
Oh, the
again,
oldest daughter, the one that was just on.
yes,
Oh, that's what's up. That's dope right there. And I
yes,
appreciate her too for even seeing that.
yes, my oldest daughter, we got a call from a relative, and she let us know you guys need, and again, I'm like, I deal with high blood pressure. That's another thing. And I'm like, I'm not going to raise my pressure. I'm not going to get upset. All that shit that my daughter did to me, it hurt. It hurt me bad down to my soul. To lie on me like that, to all the horrific lies, all the things that were wrote up in court documents, and the judge, for him to throw it out, just to think of somebody coming, the way they took my kids from me was horrible. That's going to hurt me to the day I die. But when my child showed me, my oldest showed me, she said, Mom, you
All
have to take
right.
a look at this. You don't want to see this, but you gotta see this. And when I seen those videos, I mean, it was so many. I remember being up all night. All night, I couldn't even break away from it. I'm like, I cannot believe that this is my daughter. It was like so many mixed emotions. I couldn't believe it was her on here telling
Wow.
all this crap. I mean, I seen and heard so much of the way she was sitting, and just the whole setup, the Shelly Carter in the background, and then there was a video with all these white folks, and she was in some type of, it looked like a cult setting, the
Yeah.
first one that I seen.
Yeah.
When she mentioned Tupac is her father, and she's been human trafficked and taken to different states and countries. It was just crazy to me. It was a lot, and it still is. It's still a lot.
I'm glad she was
That
You
lets you
watching
know,
know how
too.
sad and pathetic that Shelly is to even corroborate that type of stuff, man. That lets you know, man, there's some stuff off with her. It's supposed to have been counseling some damn body.
exactly. And that was my reason for making a police report as well. I let the officer know something may happen to my child, and if it does, this is who you need to go after. Because I know she's watching, and I know she's paying attention, and I'm cool
Yeah.
with that. But I'm ready to go after her now. I'm done with this. It's not going to go on another month, another 6 months, another year. No, 2025, this is the time. I'm done. I'm ready to go after Shelly Carter. Her and I and my daughter, we will have a day in court. We will have a day in court. I have a life. I have too much to lose, and I'm not going to hand it over
You were
to this predator. I'm
absolutely
not going to
right.
do that. But at the same time, I'm gonna stick my neck out for my daughter. I'm going to stick my neck
Yeah.
out for her, and I'm going to try to help her as
Hey,
much as I can. She's in a need for some mental health
let's
help.
pray for her, y'all.
I don't have those tools, but I'm going to find out who I could get to help her. She needs to get away from this predator.
Yeah, I think if she was away from her too, she can come back into her own, man. Like that person is heavily influencing her.
Yeah.
Trust and believe me, yeah, that's her
Let's
thing. That's
see.
why she's staying as close as what the hell that
Let's
she is to her.
see.
And she been doing this for a minute. I think she might have even struck out with others before Allie, and Allie was the one where she was like, you know what, let's just do this right here. All you
Yeah.
gotta do is say this, and you can be a
Right.
star. Because all that stuff about her being a dance instructor and all that stuff, I'm like, man,
Um,
that's weird. That's
and
weird.
I seen that my child is claiming to have all these hats, all these job titles, but at the same time, how do you have? It's not enough time in a day for you to have all these titles, but you're on the run.
Right.
And that's where again I couldn't believe the comments. I'm like,
Went to
how
school
how
for
is people
13
so it's
years.
craziness? How do you have all these? What kids are you working with, but you're on the run?
Feel me?
You're on the run, and I'm trying to understand how are you on social media stating all these disturbing things, but you're working with somebody's kids. This is not making
Right.
any sense,
Right.
and then
Right.
the comments of people just cheering it on and entertaining it, and we're with you, Allie. And Allie, that was another thing. The name, I'm like, her name is Tori Outlaw. I had a young lady contact me last week, letting me know that my daughter Allie is bashing me, and I had to tell her my daughter's is Tori Outlaw. It's not Allie. It's not Allison Leilani Carter. That's not my daughter.
That's crazy.
That's
That
some
make
name that she allowed this predator to place on her.
But then had a nerve to be sitting talking about handlers and people with remote controls. All the while, the handler and the remote controller is Shelly.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
The remote control
And
got it
Yeah.
appears.
I'm sorry.
No, I say all that stuff that she's saying. That's from Shelly.
Yeah.
Right.
Even going after what rapper female that she claimed that did something to her and he responded. Did you see that video where my daughter claimed that what was his name? Jock? Young
Young
Jock?
Jock.
Oh my.
What?
Yeah, and he responded to her.
Oh.
He responded to my daughter. I'm like, this is crazy. You're claiming that these rappers have raped you and human traffic you, and now all you need to do is say this about the wrong person and that could cost you your life. You don't have these people kind of money. And I sent her that message letting her know, if you paying attention, this is your mother talking. You cannot just be stating these kind of accusations about people, things that are not true. Do you know people will come after you? And that's what I mean by Shelly Carter. She doesn't give a shit. Just like that
Mm-mm.
police officer, that situation with the
Dang,
police officer
job.
where they were at the house and the police was there and he stated it was an insurance guy there. Shelly requested some insurance. Okay, how do I know she's not putting insurance on my child? What do you put? What
That
do you
too.
need insurance for?
That too. And that's the thing. And I'm glad that you caught that. And that's why I showed that video. I wanted you to see that, especially with her, with that dude making up that lie, talking about, because the cop wasn't going for it. That's why the cop said,
No.
well, he already called us. Like, he just said anything. Because she gonna try to make some shit up talking about somebody jumped over the fence and went there talking about some insurance, but then she switched it up and said it was somebody from FedEx when she
Mm.
was on the video at first, and that's why the cop said that. And I'm like, y'all weird. And then once that, the cop came, the sheriff rather, to that area, aside from Allie being the person to go out and talk to the sheriff, no, Shelly, she went walking
Yeah.
like a dude and everything,
Yeah.
standing out there with a hat on and shit.
Yeah.
The cop was like, what is this, man? Like, come on, man. Like,
You can tell it doesn't look right, and just it's the same way she had came into the courts. When they took my girls away from me, she walked into the courts and she had on some boots and some man jeans and a man Wrangler shirt with a hat on.
Oh Lord.
But you can tell this is a female.
Dang boy.
And I remember, I will never forget. My attorney told me that day. He said, "You cannot do this. This is federal grounds. Keep you cool."
No boy.
I didn't know who this woman was. I had I knew nothing about her, but you're in here inquiring about my child. But the kids told me. It took the kids to tell me that she was hanging out at the schools.
Dang.
So my daughter may not. I'm pretty sure that my daughter's not the only one.
I'm
As
sure
Tori
too.
is front and center for now, but once I pull Tori from her, she may come with another one, or may not, because the way I'm coming after Shelly, and from what I've been told by attorneys, that I have a strong case with this woman.
Yep.
She has slandered me completely. Have
Lord, my internet. Come on. What happened? Dang it. Come on. Oh. Shoot. I'm so sorry, y'all. My internet just. Dang it. Okay. Come on. What happened? Oh my God. Dang. Oh my Jesus. Wait, I got to troubleshoot one there. Just a minute, y'all. I am so sorry. I apologize, y'all. We got